Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Mayor Steve Wilder here from the city of North Canton with our weekly community update. It was originally scheduled for Wednesday at 11 o'clock. However, COVID hit our administrative offices, and we have 2 employees out with COVID-like symptoms. So we were here remotely, but I wanted to have an end of the year comment and update for you. Here we are on December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2020. There's been a lot said about our cultural holidays that are in December. And I was looking at the History Channel, and I also came across an article by Colleen Ford. It talks about the holidays that we have in and religious holy days we have in December. Every year there are at least 68 major religious holidays celebrated around the world. And of course you've probably heard of some of those, of Christmas, Diwali, Ramadan, Yom Kippur, and Hanukkah, just to name a few. And according to the data collected by religion researchers, there are over 4,200 belief systems in the world today. So these 68 holidays barely scratch the surface of world religion. Plus, cultural holidays are a completely different category, and it just shows you how widely diverse and rich our world is. And knowing more about religious holidays and world cultures is really a perfect way to expand one's horizons and find commonalities with others and become a more understanding person and society. And it's easy to become fixated on what we are surrounded with because there seems to be no reason to do otherwise, especially around the holiday season. But the reality is that the world is becoming smaller and smaller each day. The United States is home to people from all over the world, and it's vital to embrace all religions and beliefs as part of life today. So it is in North Canton that we are made up of many types of, or many, is a home for many people from around the world. And I just wanted to touch base on a few of the holidays that we might be familiar with. Of course, Christmas, we just celebrated on the 25th. And that's mostly celebrated as a cultural holiday rather than a religious one. But it is Christian-based holiday, and Christians prepare to celebrate Jesus Christ's birth through the Advent season. Hanukkah, which is completed, which is dear to our family, which falls under the religion Judaism, and that was always late November to late December. And Kwanzaa is right around the corner. Well, actually, we're in the middle of Kwanzaa. It started the 26th. It goes through the 31st or even January the 1st. Interesting thing about Kwanzaa, it was established in 1966. And when you look at the 8 days that it celebrates, it's interesting on the topics that it talks about: unity, self-determination, collective work, and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. And so for our friends celebrating Kwanzaa, again, celebrate, and hopefully you'll stay safe and keep well. Here's another one in the Japanese culture, Omisuka. That's Omisoka. And that's celebration date is December the 31st. And the importance of starting a new year fresh is a central theme of traditional Omisaka activities. These activities can include repaying debts, cleaning and decluttering houses, and purifying oneself from evil spirits and bad luck before the year comes to a close. And that is for our friends and families of the Japanese. And there's many articles that are about this. And whether you find yourself in a temple, mosque, church, or shrine, we wish you the happiest of holidays and, again, a splendid new year. Thank you for calling forward just to bring me out a few of those things I wanted to share with you today. Well, in no particular order, here we go. Again, Governor Dewine has extended a statewide curfew from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. And that'll be in effect until Sunday, January the 24th, 2021. And again, there are exceptions to that curfew. Of course, if you're going to or from work, you're going out for your necessities that you might need for your family or yourself. So just keep that in mind. The Ohio capital budget was signed and is in effect right now. And we just got word that any COVID relief package funding has been extended to December 31st, 2021. So I'm hopeful that we might get more COVID funding and relief for the year 2021. Again, here we are, December the 31st, 2020. Good morning to everyone again. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning. Well, we did have a white Christmas this year, and I want to thank you to our operations manager, Matt Morrow, and the street department team for working overtime on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to keep our main streets and eventually side streets clear from our heavy snowfall. And I can't thank them enough that they're out there working in overtime to get us safely to or from our activities, be it religious or family activities. Again, thank you very much. A shout out and thank you to our police and fire and EMS services. They worked uninterrupted over those holidays. Thank you to our water department who were called out, had to do a couple water repairs or our line breaks this last week. You know, it never fails in the cold temperatures. Some of our lines are over 100 years old. And whether it's in Belden Village or going up towards the airport or here in North Canton. Brian Hill, thank you for your water department and crew for getting out there and repairing those leaks and keeping uninterrupted services to those customers. Folks, City Hall remains closed to the public. We'll do it by appointment only just because of right now, because of our employees are out who are working remotely. But we want to safeguard our community and our employees. So City Hall is going to remain closed indefinitely. Our building department, of course, it's online services. You can make appointments with them. All their work can be done online. So thank you for our building department to keep uninterrupted services. Our East Maple Street and Marquardt intersection, it's progressing. The intersection, I believe, the decorative part of it is near completion. Right now, we're trying to work on getting the sidewalks replaced on the northeast and northwest corners, and that work is almost completed. So thank you for your patience in getting through that location. Stark County remains in a red status. The Stark County Health Department continues to recommend washing your hands for at least 20 minutes, wearing a mask or facial covering, keep a social or physical distancing of 6 feet, and of course cover your nose and mouth with your sleeve when sneezing or tissue, and just stay home if you are feeling sick. So it's pretty general stuff that we've been working with all along. Our trash pickup and recycling for New Year's Day, again, that is going to be that will be one day, hold on, one day later. Okay, well, anyways, no trash or recycling on Friday, January 1, 2021. Friday service will be delayed by 1 day, so good chance Saturday you'll see the Kimball trucks out and for your trash and recycling pickup. So the questions come up: where and how to dispose of live Christmas trees in Stark County or neighboring communities to North Canton. And we did put something on our Facebook about that, but just keep this in mind. You know, for Canton, leave your tree at the curb for pickup or regular trash days. For North Canton, you can leave your tree at the curb on regular trash days. The tops should be cut off so the trees are no taller than 5 feet. And again, no tinsel on the trees, please. And for Plain Township residents, leave at curb on regular trash days if your hauler accepts them. Private haulers. There's a number of private haulers and landscaping companies that will recycle trees. Some charge for the service, and residents should contact their private haulers for information or instructions. Again, you can always contact the Stark Tuscarawas Wayne Joint Solid Waste Management District at 800-687-9839. or visit their Start Tuscarawas Wayne Recycling District on Facebook for information there. Let's see here. I did find out about Lake Township. You know, they stopped recycling or accepting yard waste November 30th, and they had no plans to reopen on April the 2nd. But according to the township's Facebook page, a yard waste site just east of the road department on Midway Street Northwest, it'll reopen for Christmas trees only, January 2nd through January 11th, but only between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thursdays and Fridays, and only 9 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. The township requires the trees to be clean and free of tinsel, lights, and ornaments. No artificial trees are accepted. So there again, for North Canton, put it up by curbside, have it clean, and the top's cut off to make it about 5 feet. And for our trash, we 1 day late with Friday on Saturday pickup. I mentioned to you again about the Stark County Health Department. They're still in their phase 1 doing their vaccinations, and hopefully that'll be extended now to our nursing facilities or assisted living facilities. So stay tuned for that, and that'll be hopefully coming forward. And but all the fire and paramedics, police, or EMS and paramedics in service in Stark County should be getting their vaccinations, and especially here in North Canton. Let's see. As I mentioned, we're keeping City Hall closed indefinitely for right now. And I mentioned to you about our permits department. Again, remote inspection software is in place. They can do virtual inspections. They can do electronic plan reviews, and they can also do contract registrations. And payments can be made online. Same for our utilities. You can either drop it in the box outside or do your payments online to our utilities. Well, folks, it's been quite a year. I want to thank you for your support throughout this last year. If I may, I'd like to make a report to you as we look back on 2020. Please allow me these few minutes to share my thoughts. As I look back on 2020, I reflect on how our lives have changed. The global COVID-19 pandemic brought pain and loss to many of us. And for almost all of us, our daily lives, family times, and work also changed this year. But we did make it to the end of a very difficult year, not on our own, but by reaching out to one another, as we always do within the North Canton community. Within this past year, I have become prouder of our city. I would choose to remember 2020 as a year of great change and strength for us. Progress did not stop, despite the pandemic. Our city administration, city government, and services removed obstacles, found new ways to connect, and embraced new approaches to service, such as online ventures, virtual communications, all the while maintaining customer service and service delivery excellence. Within this past year, we have created communication, community engagement, and participation for North Canton to be more transparent and accessible to city government, boards, and commissions through Zoom technology. Our Department of Finance has launched an interactive version of the city budget called northcantonohio.opengov.com. It provides a resource guide for daily public review. The Office of the Clerk for City Council has adopted a new and modern digital format called Granicus Solutions. This technological advancement allows our city government to reach, inform, and engage citizens for a better civic experience. The building permits and inspection department has installed software to help make their services more business friendly. Builders, residents, and public can sign in to permits at northcantonohio.gov and have electronic plan reviews done, pay registrations and contract fees online. Remote or virtual inspections can be performed except for occupied inspections at this time. Over 20 new businesses were issued certificates of occupancy through December 2020. And from March 2020 through December of 2020 this year, over $12.3 million has been accounted through commercial alterations, commercial engineering, new residential and residential alterations have contributed to the economic and community development. Our police, fire, and emergency medical service, our EMS departments, delivered their services with uninterrupted determination and safety for all under the extreme difficulty caused by the COVID-19 health emergency. The employees of our city utilities, street department, water treatment plant, parks, recreation, and water distribution teams worked relentlessly together in keeping our community active, healthy, and safe. Furthermore, nothing is more important than the health, safety, and welfare of our community navigating COVID-19 pandemic disease and reopening our community, and the magnitude of public emotions and behavior regarding basic treatment of one another with fairness and decency were certainly understood here. The city did experience a few protests, marches, and demonstrations about past and present racism, hate, mistrust, and selflessness. The police department and the mayor's office cooperated in programs with the Stark County Collaborative on Race Relations, and especially with the NAACP. And working together, we redefined our current policy and procedures in compliance with Ohio Collaborative Community Police Advisory Board standard for all law enforcement agencies in the state of Ohio. And folks, on a side note, we actually started that under my term as chief of police in reviewing our standards and following the Ohio Collaborative Community Police Advisory Board standards. So thank you again to Chief Kemp for redefining that as we go forward. The engineering department worked diligently to complete major street and road improvements projects for gateways into North Canton. Our Apple Grove Street Northeast repaving, we did East Hill Street Southeast reconstruction project, our East Maple Street pedestrian improvement and streetscape project. In the 2020 street maintenance and paving program included Pineview Avenue Southeast reconstruction project, the Northfield Avenue Southeast sanitary sewer replacement project, and end-of-year completion of the Pittsburgh Avenue Northwest water line replacement project, Phase 1. Thank you, Engineering Department, to complete all of our projects as outlined. The city received CARES Act funding to help offset purchasing personal protective equipment for our first responders, improvements to telework capabilities for public employees using VPNs, our software for conducting remote meetings, agendas, budgeting, water treatment plant controls, laptops, and scanners. The funding helped to cover public health expenses for city public areas, such as our park facilities, our physical distancing measures, and touchless fixtures, such as our faucets, waters, soap, and towel dispensers. Credit card bulk water fill station, and additional prisoner restraint benches, and our police and dispatch wages and benefits during the eligible periods of time for our public health emergency. It is challenging to write about everything, folks, that I or we have experienced this past year. Cancellation of our many community events, a reconfiguration of the school year and graduations for Hoover High School and Walsh University classes of 2020. New management for profitability of Arrowhead Golf and Event Center, continuing engagement with the owners of the Hoover District to reach a positive outcome for the redevelopment of the property, land banking for available properties for healthier city control for future retail or commercial development, our personnel changes that we've made, to name a few. Our parks and walking trails remained open. The North Canton Farmers Market has been a wonderful addition to our city. And Diebold Nixdorf is planning an expansion and adding additional employees to their North Canton operations in the Hoover District. We need to thank all the volunteers and organizations who have provided food and clothing to those in need throughout this health emergency. Thank you all. And most of all, thank you to our residents, business owners, our educational communities, our health providers, our faith-based organizations, local, state, and national health organizations for managing their response to help stop the spread of the coronavirus and guiding us through year end. I will choose to remember 2020 as a year of great change and strength for us. Progress did not stop, despite the pandemic. I have faith in our community. We will continue to care for one another. Better days are ahead for us. Stay safe and keep well. I wish you all a happy, and prosperous and safe new year. I'm very looking forward to 2021 as we move our community forward. When I see you next year, we're going to be thinking about what's next for our community. So again, Mayor Steve Wilder, it's been an honor and privilege for me to serve our community as mayor for the city and for the decisions that we've been making for the greater good of our community. I appreciate your patience and understanding as we go forward. Stay safe, keep well, have a happy new year, and I'll see you next year. Mayor Wilder here. Take care all. Goodbye.